Hello, everybody. I've just been having a lovely chat with Kory. He told me his origin story, which you'll have to contact him to get to know because he won't share it again here. Or maybe, who knows? So Kory's been around for a while in the industry for over 10 years. He's worked on over 100 books already. And I thought it would be amazing to have him on and learn from his experience, basically. Welcome, Kory.
Thank you. Honored to be here and enjoying the conversation already.
Nice. So, like I said, you've worked on quite a few books so far. You've seen probably a lot of patterns already. The main question around this podcast is what separates a book that works from a book that doesn't, in terms of getting, let's say, business results from it. So I don't know. Do you have anything to go off on in this direction?
Yeah, so what I always like to start with is, I started myself with writing a book that I was going to title something like "How to Use a Business Book," or that was kind of like the main concept. I wasn't sure if I was going to title it that, but that was the main thing. And the key components of it was just going to be strategies and case studies behind author innovators who use books in unique ways to grow their business. And I was doing this research for this, and there's people like Russell Brunson who gives away his book for free, and he quantifies this, and he says he's able to make about $240 per every book. There's this PDF out there called the one book millions method. He sells it for $4.99, and he claims he makes $5 million a year in his business from this. Matt Rudd is a ghostwriter with Platypus Publishing, and his first $25,000 ghostwriting contract was from his book. And so I have all these stories in here on people who are using books. And as I was writing this one, Christian, I realized that step one, like phase one, the first thing is you have to publish well. Like, you have to write, design, and publish a high quality, well made, thoughtful book. And you have to do this from a place of enjoyment and love of your industry, of your craft. It doesn't have to be like, super idyllic in that regard, but you have to like enjoy this space that you're in, and you have to put that into the book and make something. It's not the price that holds people back from like reading a book, it's the time. And so you need to have something that reflects the quality and craft and care that you present to the world and that you give your clients. And if your book doesn't represent that, then no matter what happens, it's just like, I say it's like egoic glue and ink and profit that people don't even care about. And so I was like, I need to write this book first. And so that's why I wrote my book Press here.
Woo!
The book on publishing books. And the problem that this book solves is it shows you how to publish, as I describe, a book that's pressed. A book that's pressed is a product first book. So you start with product and you design it well. If you don't do that, then like everything else that I can like talk about doesn't really work. And so that's like the first thing to get right.
Okay. Or are you gonna add something?
Yeah, I was just going to pause for a second and see if you had any thoughts on that, but I could keep going.
No, I do actually, because that's interesting. You're speaking about products. I come from the tech industry. I'm like, yes, products, yes, because a book is a product. You need to have a good product, right?
Have you heard of the four P's of marketing?
Of course.
It's product, price, placement, and promotion.
Right.
And so many people in books, they skip product. Price is kind of interesting for the publishing industry. I'll digress from that. Placement, I think, is really fascinating. And then they just go right to promotion. They're just like, how do I run ads? How do I build a book funnel? How do I like slam this down people's throats? And there's like this
Yeah.
whole thing that's like forgotten at the
Yeah.
start. And so after doing 100 books, that's like the main thing I see is like the books that come into my space, because I intercept at different points. So someone might be like almost done with their book and I'll just help them nudge it over. And I can tell right away, I'm like, okay, like I'm too late to really craft this product. And I'll tell authors, I'll be like, hey, if we had another 6 months and X amount of money, we could kind of rework some things. And they're like, no, we got to just push this out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Done, get it out there. But those are the things that like, those are the one I can tell right away that I'm like, this is going to get some success, but like the ones that get magnitudes up are the ones that are like really thought out from the beginning. And yes, so you're not really like you're not really writing and publishing a book, you're designing and launching a product, and that product needs to like fit into this specific space.
Mm. And what are those things you look for, like the key pillars of what makes a good product?
So a lot of what standards used to be in books don't matter like anymore. Strip all the shit out of the front.
Yeah.
Forward, preface, reviews, like all the stuff that gets jammed into there, all that stuff is it blocks the reader from getting access to the real value. Then the first sentence, like people don't judge books by the cover, they judge books by the first couple paragraphs. So that's really where like it comes in, because they're thinking like, is this worth my time? Am I really going to say no to all the other stuff to like spend some time like doing this? And then like, how's the user experience of it? Is it like fun and pleasurable to look at? Like, can you just read it easily? Like good book design is when the words just come off the page, you don't really notice it. And so it's like you strip back all the shit that doesn't matter. You focus relentlessly on what like the reader actually wants for the reader experience. And then you just like, you don't hold anything back. Like all the time I hear people like, well, I don't want to give them all the sauce. And I'm like, everything, give everything that you possibly have. And 110%, put it in there. And that's, I walk the walk with this. Like this thing is thick here. And Pressed is the first book. It's how to publish well. The second book that I'm going to work on now is how do you use a book? Like what's the user guide, the manual? The second book that I'm going to do is going to be much, much, much shorter. The purpose of this one was to like demonstrate that I've been doing this for a decade and that I know what I'm doing, and to use it as like a guide for working with my clients that I do. And so the reason why I'm kind of talking about me is like it's total inception. It's meta. Like what I'm doing myself is what I do for what
Yeah.
I do for for other people. And so then I'll kind of take a little bit of a step here, but you have to I think about it as there's the 5 parts of you as an expert. And so there's you, Christian. Then there's your brand. Your brand is like what the world's like, what people think and that what they say about you. It's your reputation, it's your website, your social profiles, it's how you look. Then there's your content. Your content is like your output of your brand. The better, more consistent you are with your content, the more it grows your platform. Your platform then is like numbers. It's like how many people listen to this podcast? How many people subscribe to your newsletter? How many people read your LinkedIn posts? And then the output of like your platform is what you get conversations. Your conversations then are like book calls, DMs, inbound. So you reached out to me after you saw my book. Hey, want to be on the podcast? That is like the result of, more conversations coming into me. The more conversations I have is more opportunity to present my offer. The more times I present my offer, the more money I make. And so this is the 5 parts of you. It's a system on expertise So it's your brand is like the base level. It's how you look. The output of your brand is your content you share with the world. The success of your content is measured through your platform, through the numbers. When you have a strong brand that puts out high quality content that gets seen and grows your platform, you get more conversations. And when you get more conversations, you get more opportunities to present your key offer, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100K consulting packages. And so that's where you really make a lot of money with the book is when you build this model.
Hmm. I really like that. What'd you say was called the five?
5 parts of you and model and expertise. And
Oh,
I got a fun visual in there. I could send you the spread after
yeah,
from
yeah,
Fest.
yeah.
You can check it out.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Okay, I have two questions going back. Um, one is about it being a good product. I don't know if anyone ever comes to you from a desire to write a book that is not the right foundation for writing a book, which is I want to write a book because I heard it will help me make more money. And I don't really have well, there's two. I can think of two things. One is the desire to make it good, and two, maybe something that I want to share with the world, that I feel I want to share with the world. So the desire is shallow to write the book, let's say. Have you seen, this is just my curiosity, have you seen that happen, and have you seen it influence the end result?
Yeah, so uh, there was when I first started, even in like 2019, 2020, I feel like almost in some ways it mattered less what was inside the book. And I was like, kind of people were like, "Oh, you're an author." And there was like magical things happened for sure. And then like each year, like the value of the book has decreased and the value of the author has gone up. And how I like to explain this to people is, do you have an author, Christian, by chance, that when you hear that their next book is available for pre-order, you think, "Ooh, I want to go pre-order that," and you might go pre-order it. Like, is there someone in your brain that where you're like, "I almost don't care what it's titled, I don't care what it's about, I just know that this person's gonna make it, and I'm interested in buying it."
Yeah.
And so that value, like, so for me, one of my favorite authors is Sulika Jawed. She's the author of Between Two Kingdoms and the Book of Alchemy, which is a journal. And so whenever she came out with the Book of Alchemy second, and I didn't know what it was about, I didn't know anything about it, I just pre-ordered it right away. And so as an author, even if you're a business consultant, what does it say about your brand when you come out with a book and people right away say that they want it and they almost don't care about what the title is or anything about that? And so that matters more now, is all the work you're doing, how you treat people, your reputation, the quality of your work. All of this is like an important part of the equation, um, as well. And so for people who are like, I'm going to write a book, I just want to make money on it. It's like, well, how have you sort of gone about your business and your networking, in general? If you were just to say the word book, how many people would be interested in it without even knowing anything about it? I think like that's like an interesting experiment for people to think about. And so some people will be like, just build some stuff and think about the book a little bit later.
Yeah.
or or a good strategy too is start with the book and then use it to build everything on top of it. Relaunch your brand a bit, start making new content, to grow your platform, to get new conversations, to present a new offer. And so you got to be kind of like, if you're going to play the book game, it's a long-term slow churn. There's other plays people could play. So like, I like being upfront with people. If you're going to do this book game, Like it takes a little bit of time and intention, and things are sprawled out a little bit more. Um, and so I've seen results from people years past, but it's getting harder, and that's why product matters even more, and reputation matter even more because the internet doesn't trust anything anymore. It's like
Yeah.
everything's AI and everything's fake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so reputation is the new currency.
Yeah. Maybe even also originality, right? Like
Yeah.
having something that AI cannot either experience, right? Like you wrote you published 100 books. That's experience that's solid. That's not something that can be
And
replicated.
I'm so proud of this cover because like I there's behind the scenes of this, Christian, there's like 70 designs and a team that helped me.
Ooh.
And like we tried to make it different from all the others. And so like when you go to Amazon to the publishing category and you scroll, like press sticks out. And like I tried to make it original. And so shout out Jasmine Welch. She designed the cover. She gets so much credit for it. And so I love that you brought up originality. Get a good, unique cover designer. Even if you use AI, there should be like 300. If you use AI, there should be like 3,000 freaking designs behind it. Like use it, test it, and like don't have it blend in with the sea of other books. Um, yeah.
Cool. Well, this feels like it's already been a full meal. Maybe I can go back to the to one last question. You mentioned price and placement are interesting in the 4 Ps. Do you have anything to share about that?
Yeah. So one of my favorite thoughts about price is Blair Enns. He wrote a book called The Win Without Pitching Manifesto. And that book is available for sale on Amazon and it's $25. That was one of his earlier books. After that, he came out with Pricing Creativity. Pricing Creativity is only available directly on his website, which is depending on the format you buy, it's $100 to $350. And it comes in this like beautiful, like 3-ring binder. And I haven't been able to figure out numbers, but I got him on a podcast to where he quote was like, that book makes me really good money. So I'm not sure what that means, but like if you have a $320 product that essentially costs, I'm just going to say he spends $40 per unit, $180, you know. And so if he gets 280 times, a thousand people, concept of like 1,000 true fans, it's 280,000.
Yeah.
And so many, like I saw this post on LinkedIn. This author sold 6,000 copies in launch week and was disappointed. And I was like, what are you like? Traditionally published books are successful with 3,000 copies. I'm like, you sold 6,000, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people need to like reorient a bit. And so a $320 ring binder, 1,000 units, $280,000. Like, that's pretty dang good money. And I'm just kind of I'm pulling some assumptions here out of what I'm hearing. So I think that like that's an interesting concept too. And selling direct, which you have more of your point into there. And then second is placement. I've done books that aren't available for sale anywhere. Besides, they just get distributed between like corporate boardrooms. So you can't buy them anywhere. Boardrooms say, hey, I want to purchase, 30 copies. And then they go out to this executive board and then they do their thing. And so it's like only distributed through like these corporate inner circles. And, you move a couple hundred books with some really key makers and then you're a consultant. And then they're calling you in to do, and you're working on really big projects. And that exclusivity can also be a draw for a lot of people. And,
Mm.
my first book still is not available for sale on Amazon, but I think I'm finally going to put it up there. So price is like you you could have a $9 book. You could also have a $350 three-ring binder.
Yeah.
Placement, you could have it available for the book trade on Amazon and wherever books are sold. You could also just distribute it behind the scenes exclusively to, like, these, like, specific networks like masterminds or boardrooms. And so there's so many ways to kind of get unique with your specific situation that I've seen work.
Dope. Wow, Kory, thanks a lot. A lot of wisdom, gained from experience, which is the best kind. Um, where can people reach you, and what do you usually help business people who want to write books with?
Yeah, so it's, Kory with a K, Kirby, KoryKirby.com. It's the best place. You can go there. There's my email. You can book a call with me. And I help experts turn knowledge into beautiful, high performing books. And so I work one on one, and we craft a unique strategy that pulls you in the direction that you want to go. And I love talking about this stuff. So give me a shout. My email's there anytime. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Good questions too, by the way.
Cheers, Kory. See you maybe in a future episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.